So those initial observations where you got to implement some standards for your return on ad spend. So essentially, if you're wanting to stay above a 1.67, right? We have to first identify that cost per purchase is essentially $21. Let's really just say it's 20.
Yeah.
Anytime a purchase or amount spent goes over 20, we have to cut it. So like that's the new rule for you specifically.
Okay.
And it holds true
All
for
right.
really any product in this case, right? Because like if your cost is higher than what your
Yeah. Because that's like break-even cost.
yeah, so that always
in
ensures
21.
that you're above, and then you're never having to worry about cash rolling out too fast. So the first thing we do is we check this campaign here, and if we look at the ad sets, it's broken down by a test here where you're spending, but there hasn't really been a purchase on any of these.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of them was a purchase, just didn't track. I've been having issues with like event tracking as well.
Okay. So for instance, you've spent $16 per purchase and $12 per purchase here. Okay.
Yeah.
Essentially, any purchase that's going above these numbers means that it's like likely not going to happen. So we might as well just cut it, right?
Okay.
So for these,
I
we're
always
already
thought
past
like,
it here. We're already past it here. We're already past it here. We're already past it here. I would just go ahead and turn off this entire campaign, to be honest with you.
okay. All right. It's been running for, I think I started it 2 days ago, or yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah. So essentially, like the fact that you didn't get a purchase in one of those ad sets, since it's even on CBO, is concerning because like you got a purchase for $12 on the other one, so you should have already gotten one in this.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and cut it, right? And this says
Yeah. I mean,
count
I was
22.
always.
Is this a custom audience of 22 purchases?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not enough data to begin with. So like ideally we want to be 100 plus.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from the other Facebook guy I was talking to. I was just like I was honestly just testing cold audiences and none of them were working. I just like was like, all right, let's just see if this will work.
Got it.
It's not doing too great.
Okay. And what happened here for the 4X and the 2.73 and the, these two? Anything wrong with these?
So which campaign is this? It's this is the first. Oh yeah, that's the first one. Okay. Yeah, so I created cold audience phase 2. That's the other campaign. So I basically ran another campaign side by side with this one, which is just those ad sets that were doing good, or like they were doing okay with like the 4 times ROAS and all that.
What's wrong with
cold edit. Well, nothing. I went to cold audience phase 2, and then like I was running those same audiences, like the same ad sets, basically. If you go to like the other campaign.
Got it. Okay, let's go ahead and run a quick model real quick, like just for an example. Let's select this one and just do filter. Let's say we kept these two. You'd be at a 3.42x ROAS. And then let's run it even further. Let's take these two and filter.
Yeah.
You'd actually be at I already lost the return on ad spend.
Oh, it's on the far
You'd be
left.
at a 3.76. See that?
Yeah.
So,
but like, I'm just worried about the consistency because this is over like two, like I think this is over like 4 or 5 days. But like I don't know if it's like enough purchases to tell, because there's so much variance on like Facebook from my experience.
there always is.
Yeah.
But to start getting towards consistency, you have to essentially narrow down to those specific things.
Okay, and then like isolate those kind of.
Exactly. That's where you get consistency. Most people never make it there because they never do it.
Yeah. Wait, can you take a look at the other campaign?
Yeah. Do you mind if we turn this one back on?
Just have a look at the phase 2 one because that's basically that campaign. See, like I ran the ones that were like somewhat successful, like Sephora, Skincare, Urban Decay, and then like I threw in Beautiful Skin because that one had like high affinity with the other ones, and I just wanted to test those. But like this other campaign basically had the same audiences and like wasn't doing too well, the phase 2 one.
So the recommendation here is to turn these off. Turn that one off. We could just
Okay.
go with these two, and then we come down here. And then we're going to turn these two ads off here because they spent a lot of money and got 0 purchases.
Yeah, that was the first video. Also, one thing I wanted to test was the thumbnail, because we made a custom thumbnail and it's very clickbaity, like emoji. I don't know if that's like what we're supposed to do or not.
I mean, if it works, it works, but ideally, no. It's against Facebook's limits, essentially, like the reach and stuff of that. So I mean, like you can see quality ranking.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you suggest for like a thumbnail? Like how would I what would I do for the
Testing.
thumbnail?
I mean, you
here?
just test it.
Okay.
So right here, we already cut those that weren't performing, right? And essentially, what is this daily budget set to right here?
I mean, it's using ad set budget, and each one got like $10, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So if you don't mind, we can turn this one back off because we turned off that 50 daily, so you have more budget freed up.
Yeah.
And essentially, like you have your 2 interests that are now live again. Let's just go ahead and set up some quick filters here. Ad set is active. So that way we just limit our view. And then ad delivery is active. Because this will give us a more realistic look. So now that these are implemented, you want to essentially maintain this cost, right? If you can get these numbers, that's good for you, right? At 3.76 is great. That's positive. That's profitable. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
So now we want to make sure it maintains that. And essentially the thing is, in order to do that, you got to make sure that on this side, if you're using the same ads, this one's doing 11 with the same video, right? So, I mean, pretty much we know that if this is the case across 3 audiences, then you should be fine.
Okay.
I would go ahead and
Is that
turn
in
these,
terms of the video or like this campaign?
that video and these ad sets.
Okay, okay.
We're going to turn these 2 off. Haven't got any purchases. We can be pretty strict about this pretty early on. Click-through rates are much lower on them. I mean, cost per clicks are higher on them. Your reach and impressions are much lower compared to these other ones, and they got the same, if not more, spend.
Yeah.
So
is that down to competition or
pretty early indicators these aren't working?
Okay.
Competition, it's always present. I mean, you could check based off the inspect. You can see how heavy your competition is.
Oh, okay.
They'll load it up and tell you just outright like what's going on. Auction competition it's not giving it to you in this case. It might be literally 0 if so. Let's see.
I still have to look into like bidding and all that. I still don't know how that works. I'm assuming
your
it's
auction
kind of
competition is 8% on June 15th. So essentially yesterday you had a 15%, I mean an 8% auction competition. That's nothing. I wouldn't even worry about that.
So
like,
look, so that for example, basically means I don't have a whole lot of competition.
It means that 8% is your 8% over the average.
Okay.
So in a good world, you're in the negative on auction competition. So 4% less than the average competition. So essentially with lookalikes, the more unique you can get something, the better, because it means less and less people are going after that audience.
So it's cheaper and higher.
Interests are served to everybody and their mother. Everybody gets interest. Anybody can go after them. Doesn't mean they're a bad audience. It just means your auction competition is going to be ridiculously high. And you haven't been running these. They've been off, so you don't really have any auction competition data here yet. But let's see if it pulls up. Yeah, nothing. But once it's active again, just see what your auction competition is for the interest. I'm sure it'll be much higher.
Okay.
So we've already optimized those. Got those down. Now, just from the looks of it, I mean, if we just go ahead and stick high level here, if we just go back to your ad set level, pretty much across these 3 audiences, all these videos all these videos are averaging about $11.83, and
Yeah, so
not
that's
by a
doing pretty
big
well.
range. Not by a big range either. Like 50
Mhm.
cents above at the highest.
Yeah. So I
That's
could be pretty
good.
confident in this, right?
Yeah, that's
In
pretty
this.
accurate.
Hmm.
So if this continues across audiences, you just keep going after these audiences that are landing in these numbers. If they're
Okay.
higher
Okay.
than this, if they're higher than essentially the range you don't want to go out of, I'd try to stay away from anything above 20 plus, obviously, always.
Yeah, because that's when I'm losing
Then
money.
you can get a
Yeah.
little bit more strict about it and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and say 18 plus, never again, never do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying so run these for like a couple days, and then how do I like break down my results or whatever? Like how do I interpret them?
By your return on ad spend and your cost per purchase.
Okay. So say like let's say in
This
the
right
next three
here.
days, like so
In the next,
hypothetically, like in 3 days ish, like if everything goes down, kind of like cost per purchase goes up, like my ROAS is like going down, and then like they're starting to inch towards like 20. What would you say I do? I mean,
nothing. Don't do anything until they pass 20.
okay, okay. And after 20, would I just set up some new cold audiences and test those, or test new videos, or
So for instance, if this one's above 20, you turn it off. And since you're on
okay?
CBO,
Mm-hmm.
the budget's going to shift automatically. So don't do anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't go out launching new stuff, because let's say you have a
mhm.
bad day on that, results go up, and
Yeah,
then you throw out a bunch of new audiences and all of a sudden it's a terrible day as well. Then you're just getting crushed on cash.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just let the audience budget shift to see what happens with the results. And if they hold true, why test more audiences? You can just input more spend there.
yeah. True, true.
I mean, we don't have to get like audience happy. We can just say, hey, let's go ahead and scale up what's working.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like I don't know. I'm being a little pessimistic here. Like what like basically if this campaign ends up not being profitable, like where would I go from there? Do I just start testing new things? Like if this after like a week or two ends up not being profitable, right? Like
For all of them being above 20 cost per purchase,
yeah,
well, that'd suck.
that would suck. Yeah. Is that unrealistic or
Looking at these numbers out of 12 purchases, it's likely it
mhm,
could happen. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out completely, but
okay.
as long as you're narrowing and like limiting, essentially controlling this group and ensuring that you're always inputting ones that are at these numbers, then you should be fine.
Mhm,
But let's just say everything starts trending up over the next few days and it all goes above
uh-huh.
20, then you got to figure out what's going on. It could be a multitude of things. I mean, it just really depends. Product could be terrible and a bunch of people leave bad comments on the product. It could be the audiences or have massive overlap and all of a sudden like you're
Mhm.
competing against yourself. So
Yeah,
many
I mean,
factors.
I know a guy who's like the guy I used to work with. He says one of his clients, like, because we're pretty good, like we're pretty close now. So he said one of his clients were running this exact like same product, and they're doing here. I'll pull up their site. It's like core research. So apparently this one's doing around 2,000 daily on Facebook ads. So like I'm sure I can make it work. I just
Yeah,
maybe it's his
well, your
website that's
conversion rate
better.
on your site is at 3% above.
Right here, go to analytics.
So
Yeah,
3.68 is not
3.7.
terrible. I mean, that's,
I mean, most of that comes from Google though. So like like our Google ads have a really high ROAS. Like so my friend here is testing target
yeah. So, I mean,
CPA.
like if it's working on Google, then there's no worry on the social side.
Okay, yeah. So geez,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of what would
You know it
happen if all
works.
these yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah.
like
I'm just
if
thinking
this
of
is
what I
going
would
up,
do.
then it's something that's going on with what you're doing.
Okay.
Likely, because if the product's good and it's getting sales, then that wouldn't be the concern.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for your site, how many people, I mean, you don't really have a ton of data yet to really flesh this number out to be an exact, spot
Yeah.
on accurate number.
Yeah.
Ideally, like it'd be nice to have 100 plus on all these before deciding what this is going to land on. But if
Hmm.
it holds true, which looks like your numbers are pretty much stable, um, you should be fine.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go back to your ads.
Yeah.
Essentially what you could do is, even though that you have very small amounts of data, you could already launch this being at 50 daily. So over the next 2 days, you should at least be getting like 2 to 3 purchases on these.
Okay. Okay. I'm just thinking about what I would do if they don't, you know?
Yeah, then we look at that then.
Okay. Okay. Here.
So
Also,
it would also make sense to launch a retargeting at a very low spend just to capture some additional sales.
okay. So you're talking about retargeting of like based off video watch time, or like just these? Because I haven't really done retargeting too much at
Yeah.
all.
So like
You know?
yesterday here, 3.2. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
You should have another day like this today and tomorrow. Not at 3.2 exactly. It could be a 2x today and then a 7x tomorrow. As long as it's going to average out to a little bit number around this.
Okay, yeah. I mean, really, I just need to give it more time so I could like be more sure of like how these are performing, right?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would monitor this. You should at least get 1 or 2 more purchases today and tomorrow.
Okay. So also, do you think the video, like the average video percentage watch time or like watch, is that concerning? 8% seems kind of low.
I wouldn't worry about that. No, I wouldn't worry about it too much. So what you can do on the retargeting side, I'd create one campaign here just to get it up early and fast. You know, why not start improving your conversion rates even further and capturing some sales before it's too late?
Okay.
You could just set this to like a $5. Keep it super, super, super small. And then stick to purchases. Then just have 2 audiences here, custom audience. You could do the video views to retarget
Oh, so
anybody
this
who
is like a
viewed the 3
retargeting?
seconds. Yeah. And you could
Oh,
do
okay.
choose the video,
Mhm.
choose this one, choose that one, confirm. 365 days, that's fine. We do 3-second video views just because, I mean, it gives you a bigger bucket to work with, and like retargeting audiences usually end up showing to all the people relatively fast. So it's better to have it much larger if possible. And then
Okay.
splitting it out by super, super segmented ones on a separate campaign for retargeting. So 2 retargeting campaigns essentially.
So how big is this audience? Like if I was to go to my reach, do you think I have enough views on this? Like it's only like
Going to be
8,000.
around 9,000 people in here, which is plenty of people.
Okay. Okay.
For a $5 audience, that's fine. You should at least be converting 1 person per day on this audience, if not 2. So I mean, your purchase cost should be ridiculously low. Then the other thing is we're gonna not do a lookalike. We're gonna do another custom audience.
Okay.
Website.
Oh, all right. Wait, this is actually getting interesting.
And you're just gonna do. We're gonna keep this broad once again, 180 days. All website visitors. Create audience. So these are the 2 we're gonna do.
Okay.
3 video views. 365 day plus all website visitors. We forgot to name that last part, but that one's 180 days, just so that way you know. Okay, we'll leave it open. We'll remove this detailed targeting. You don't need that there. It's for retargeting. We don't need detailed targeting.
Wait, I have to look at the the audience for a second. Is this, hold on. So these 2, all right, so it's basically anyone who has watched the video 3 seconds or more, and also, or am I doing like, for in this situation, oh, it's only one of the font. Okay. I just wanted to.
People don't purchase this product more than once, do they?
No, usually not. I mean, some people buy 2, but I mean, we have a thank you card in the box, so it says that gives them like $5 off their next purchase if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think we're gonna get any returning customers.
Okay, so we got this audience in place. Now we'll just close this out. We'll save it, close and save to draft. We want to put it in draft because we're not going to, in most cases, it's best to have a very specific retargeting ad. Okay. You can get away with showing the same thing over and over again in some cases, but in the future, just think of a potential ad you could have more specific, literally for your audience.
Oh, okay. So like design creatives based off of like the audience that I'm retargeting?
Only for retargeting in that case.
Okay. Okay.
For this audience ad, we're just going to grab your best performing creative, which should be the this one right here.
Yeah.
So we'll just copy it. We'll just drop it in here for this one. And then we'll just delete this one because we're not going to use it. And then we're going to go back to the campaign. We'll name this retargeting. We're actually going to move the budget to the ad set level because what we're going to do is we're going to split these audiences into two. So usually you do 2 campaigns, but when you're at this early of a stage, it's fine. You can get away with splitting into 2 different ad sets. So we'll do original campaign, duplicate it. So that's your, like, this is like the broad. It keeps all the people super broad.
Okay.
There's going to be way higher purchase intent whenever it's add to carts. Okay. Way higher purchase intent, especially with view content as well.
So you're saying, do view content as well as like people who have added to cart, you retarget those people? Because we only have like 30, 40 usable events for that.
It grows. So over time, the audience will populate bigger.
Yeah.
So that's why we'll start with a super small budget. It's good to have the foundation there though, because then otherwise you're just missing out on sales.
Also, in this case, I do have a question about like custom audiences. So let's say I was to create a custom audience about like people who have viewed content, right? Like how often does that audience refresh with new data of people who have, like, is it every time I update it or does it do it like on a regular basis? How often does that custom audience update?
It's going to update every single time if it's on a time period. So it's going to have the last 7 days worth of data in it. If we do 7 days, it'll always have the last 7 days worth of data.
So every time someone, like let's say in this case, adds to cart, that data is going to be thrown into the custom audience as well, right?
Correct. Shopify is automatically sending that for you.
Okay. Perfect.
Now, if you had a big enough audience, we would just do add to cart in this one and do view content in another. It's best to split it by add to cart 7 day and then view content 14 day. That's the typical split for this, which makes the most sense. In this case, you're not there yet. I mean, add to carts, you really don't have enough for last 7 days. I mean, you might have 10 at best. So view content, what we'll do is we'll just add that in here, but just be aware as you start to scale up, the results are great, keep it the same. If not, you can start splitting it out to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Let's do 14 day here, give it some more buffer room. And then that's that for this retargeting. And then you can just do this up here. That is done. Daily budget. We'll just, this is going to be so small. And just to confirm how small this is likely going to be, if we do last 7 days.
And not all of that is usable, I don't think.
Your session conversion rate's going up, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, this is actually plenty. 54 to get started. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, you're going to have some good audience data here.
Okay.
So we'll set this one to 5. So that's now done. Then we just got to make sure that so those are both in there. So you're good to go on that.
All right.
So you'll be spending 10 there.
Wait, just to recap. So one of the ads is on a $5 daily budget and the other one's on a 20. Is it? Here, if you go back to,
it's possible. Yeah. Oh, the first one on a 20 when it switched over. Yeah. So that should be 5 each.
okay. So both of these ad sets are getting $5 budget a day.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Publish. You should see purchases within the 48 hours with these audiences.
Okay. Yeah.
If you don't, turn them off. If you do, great.
Keep them running, right?
Yeah. And if they don't get purchases in 48 hours, it's because the people who've already seen it just pretty much don't want it.
Yeah.
And either A, they need to see it longer, which could be the case for you, but most of these things look like impulse buys, so I wouldn't say so. It might just be you have to implement an offer to get them to, move forward, because it could be a price related thing.
Okay. Yeah. We were also thinking of switching the cost for a product to $40, so it would give us another $5 to work with on ads. I don't know if that's like a good idea or not, but we could definitely just like test it and see if it works.
Yeah, well, with your conversion rates trending up by 101%, I wouldn't worry too much about it just yet.
Okay.
And then if we just pull the last 48 hours.
Okay.
You're at a 5. It's still going up. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they'll probably get better, but I mean, it's going up and up and up and up. So you should be fine on the social side as well.
Okay, okay. So this basically verifies the product kind of, and we suffered like 130 in refunds. So yeah, I mean it's not too bad.
Cool.
I'm just excited to see how how this narrowing down these like audience changes. Yeah.
Yep.
So how would I go about scaling? Like, let's say in like 2 weeks time, I'm getting consistent results. Like, cause I've always been, cause before, like if you look at we had like old ad accounts, that we would try, and these ones just weren't like doing very good. Here, I'll go over lifetime. So yeah, this one spent a lot. Jeez. But like in terms of like scaling, like we would have like an audience that's like doing all right, and we would like increase the budget a little bit, and lots of times that kind of just like, I'm not sure if it has to do with bidding or whatnot, like when I change the budget, but like the results usually don't like stay one-to-one like consistent, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how would I go about like increasing budget, and like when do I know when to increase budget, like how much on like certain campaigns?
What is this other ad account you were showing me?
Oh, it's here. So we did another product. I think the site is still up. Might be.
It's a different product?
Yeah, so this is the product we were trying before.
Then what's the comparison here?
So basically this ad account, I mean this ad account we spent a lot of money on this one and didn't do very well.
Okay.
So like in some instances I would like try to increase the budget a little bit. Like how much did this one end off at?
What is it, the product or the ads in this case?
I'm not really sure, because I saw a video on some guy, like I was doing this product, right? And then apparently some guy did 500K in 3 months using this exact product, and then that video came out. So I mean, this product's basically dead after that, because everyone's going to be swarming the product. But like,
well, then there's your answer.
I mean, but this is before, or like we were running this before that video dropped. So I mean, that guy was doing good sales on this product, and like in the same time we were trying it out. So I mean, we did have it was like an even playing field here, but we weren't doing well. I think it had to do with
unless it's an
ads.
apples to apples comparison where it's like sites identical, ads are identical, audience sets are identical, and yours didn't work and his did, then that's a different story. Because also none of these look like there's only like one campaign in here focused on purchases.
Yeah. Oh, this was another store we were doing. This one didn't work out either. I think it was, yeah. Yeah, so this one was like a niche store. We were selling this sponge, and that was our biggest mistake already, because like before we were selling it for $8. So that was like, it gave us very little room to work with here. But like this was our ad account, and I'm not really sure like where it went wrong. I mean, like I was doing this ad account with the guy I was paying.
Well, from the looks of this,
coaching.
nothing looks, I mean, from the start, it looks like nothing was working in this.
Yeah.
There's too much going on here. I mean, there's engagements, there's purchase here, then we have add to carts, then we have landing page, view content. This looks like it was like the first rodeo of testing for.
Yeah, we were trying to, like, we started off with cold audiences and like going for purchase. And then when that didn't work, we wanted to go down the funnel with like, you know, where you collect view content data, then you target add to carts with that view content data, and then like you go down, but that didn't work out for us.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Is that like a good strategy in like other cases, do you think? Like, have you ever tried that strategy?
It only works with known brands.
Okay.
You have to be a really like a known brand, have a good brand. That's really brand dependent, because those things, when you're focusing on like generating top of funnel, then having a mid funnel, and then having a lower funnel, having like all those broken out by segment, you got to be really good at what you do and have super high conversion rates on your site, because you got to have like specific campaigns. So like if you're going to do awareness type thing at the top with getting people, it needs to be for something specific, like an event where it's your actual audience signing up for the event. So like, let's say, hey, we're doing a charity event for every person who signs up and for this charity event, but it has to be a charity event revolved around like your specific product in some way, like an event for that. So that way your audience is signing up for the thing that you're giving out.
Okay.
That's where it works, because then you can just transfer the audience that now learns who you are through that to then make the purchase. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. And it requires a lot of strategy, like strategical, like analysis on how you want to approach doing something like that. It's not as simple as just, these are humans you're talking to in ads, right? So like you can't treat them like a sack of numbers and just say, oh, we're going to pour them from the top and we should see this amount trickle out and see this much run through. Can't treat it like rats. They're people, so you have to do legit things like running events at the top, then doing middle tier things and actually giving a cause and stuff like that. That really works. You'll see like 8 to 11% conversion rates on your site when you do stuff like that. But it requires a massive execution and usually involves multiple team members who know how to strategically think something out like that.
But on our scale, it just doesn't work. On our scale, we should just be doing basic cold audience testing and then
direct purchase conversions. You just want to reach them at the right time, where this person literally just stepped out of their bathroom horrified by their blackheads, and bam, they purchase on their app. They opened up social media and there it is. That's what this is for you.
Yeah, to impulse buy.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we made those changes to the retargeting.
Yeah.
We implemented we optimized by turning off those other ones.
Okay.
Which narrowed down your focus, right? It's gonna you're on CBO, so it's gonna shift more of the budget here. You should see within 48 hours 2 to 3 purchases on both these.
Okay.
2 to 3 purchases per day on both these campaigns. And if you don't, then you should at least see like 4 to 5 on one day and then maybe 1 on one day. Okay, so it's fine because it still works out statistically speaking. It still averages out to that number.
So how long do you think I should make my breakdown period, or like the period I let it sit, and then like I guess how long?
48 hours.
48 hours. So that's when I look back into
especially if you know what you're looking for. And in this case, you should. Like if it goes over 20, it's a cut.
Yeah.
Anything else is fine.
Wait, so
but you got to be aware, like for instance, you can't look at it in a lifetime view because that's a different story than, the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
If we're talking about 48 hours, then you're looking at it in 48 hours. If I say if it's over 20 over the next 48 hours, it better be in that time frame, not lifetime over the next 48 hours. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So like for instance, you're at a 3.68 when you're looking at lifetime. You then go to last 7 days. You're now at a 4.16. It's 101% up. Now you go to last 48 hours. You're at a 5.03. It's just, you see how much this is climbing? You got to look at it in more siloed views on the progress being made going forward. So in this case, if we look at your campaigns for these two, then we go to last 7 days. 1.52. It's up from 1.4. Oh wait, that's last week.
Yeah, this has only been running for a week. So.
Yesterday, 2.17. It's going up.
Yeah.
It's going up.
I want to look at the last 48 hours.
And if you look at Sunday, it's up even higher. Yeah, look at the last 48 hours.
Hey.
You went from,
Oof.
on this campaign. Oh, this one's not running.
Oh yeah, that one wasn't running.
You got to filter by these two because these other ones we cut off. So, I mean, if we only look at what's active, that's more important and what's not. You're at a 2.13. This one,
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have any purchases and it's been 48 hours. Let's see here today. So like, for instance, this right here, let's see on Saturday. Had 2 purchases, okay. So for instance, 2 purchases on Saturday, no purchases the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Over the 3 days, $27 spent. That's concerning. If it goes today, again, without a purchase, all day.
Just cut it.
Yeah, just cut it.
Yeah.
Had one good day.
Yeah. Okay.
All in all, it's looking good. Things are headed in the right direction. We made those tweaks. It should speed it up. You should be positive for return on ad spend. You also have retargeting. You should be seeing purchases from there as well. Cool.
So currently I'm running, I'm going to take a look real quick. All right, so 2 campaigns, original cold audience here. I think that was running, that ran like for this long, I think, about this, filter this one. So, yeah, I guess these are my 2 good ad sets and I'm running with those, right? How come it says it's off? Is that? Oh, okay, never mind. It's running. Okay. Wait, so what about my, here, if I get rid of this filter, what about, see, like this was the one I was kind of interested in because if I go to lifetime, oh yeah, this one didn't do very well at all. Okay. So yeah, this looks good. I'll have this run for like, I guess 48 hours, right? And then just look at it after. I'm just not really sure, like after the 48 hours, if everything starts like trend, like the cost per purchase are trending up, like, I don't know, I'm just thinking about what I would do from there.
You won't know until you do it.
Like, what are some possible like situations or like things I would do?
We could think about it all day. I mean, I could come up with 100 for you. I've seen it all by this point.
Okay.
But I mean, the thing is, if it goes above that, you're going to cut them. And if you end up with 0 audiences, then, you know, that's just one of those things where you have to start testing different ones. Yeah, and if that continues to be, and if that continues to be the loop, then, you know, it might be the creative that just can't hold. Could be, it could be the product. I mean, maybe it's oversaturated once again. You just never know. But I mean, with all the metrics pointing in the right direction, it would be more of a shocker to me if every single one of those pop up above 20. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So you're pretty confident in this, the way things are like set up right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And if you haven't already, here we go. Let me see this real quick. So this is where you can access the resources for the follow-up on this call.
Okay.
We have like a bunch of trainings here. So you could essentially search anything you want to, CVO. You click that. That's one of the most searched terms here.
And these are all free?
Yeah, it's all free. Oh, Facebook
wow.
ads, CVO tips, CVO structure, CVO retargeting strategy. These are articles. Literally walks through the retargeting strategy. Literally breaks it down for you here. You could type it in, retargeting, pulls it up, anything you want. all the resources are here. There's literally pages of them down here.
Right.
Many,
So it's like
pages.
it's like a mini course kind of, or it's like basically just a course.
Perfect. It's content, right? It's not put in order, but it's all, a lot of it's here. So I mean,
yeah,
how to exit learning eliminated.
I've just been like searching through YouTube and everything and like all that, but
yeah, so this will kind of
not organized.
Consolidate everything for you. So like, if you can't get out of learning, here's a few reasons, you know, here's the things you can troubleshoot it essentially. Like you could look up how to optimize, what to do if costs are increasing. You could literally search these things. This is like, you know, breaks it down in these calls, literally like tons of situations with people. I mean, like this person we're talking, you know, they're trying to stay above a 5X, but they're at a 4.3. Totally different scenario.
Jeez.
But I mean, like they're wanting higher numbers and they're already super profitable. And this is access to the YouTube channel. It'll take you here. So like, you know,
go ahead and subscribe.
You can access all these here for all the videos. We post them. So, you know, you can go through these as well.
Yeah, and this is good stuff. Good stuff. I'll definitely check these videos out. I was looking for something organized like this.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right. So I guess that wraps up the time, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So wait, so with the plan or like whatever the sign up that I did, basically it's this call here and then in a month from now, you're saying? Like,
whenever you want to schedule the next one. If like, let's say in 48 hours, you're like totally clueless on what changes to make and you see all these things that you feel like you need to change, we can hop back on a call then.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So I mean, the calendar's here. Whenever you need it, you need it.
Perfect.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Alrighty.
All
it was nice talking to you.
Yeah. You've been very, very helpful.
Well, good. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Alrighty. Have a good one.
All right. You too, man.
Bye.
Peace.